San Diego, so I will get right to it. We're going to start with our welcomes. We're going to welcome Anna. I didn't see Anna. Anna joined us this week. So if you see Anna for all day around the world, say welcome, Anna. And does anybody want to fill a bucket as we get started? Something good to share, something great that happened, something good in your world.
I'll start.
Go ahead, Evie.
Thank you, everybody, for those that have brought some food and dessert and everything for today's potluck. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. I'll make Erica super uncomfortable and fill her bucket as she walks in the room with food in her mouth and say, if you didn't see it, Erica was interviewed by James Shaw, who's like one of the directors of education for KW, on the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group. I posted the link on our page. She's talking about running her business in 2 markets, and she's doing a great job of doing that. For anybody who doesn't know, she closed over 30 units in Michigan last year while doing her business here in San Diego as well, and living her life by design. So not that y'all necessarily want to go live in 2 states, and yet it's super cool to hear someone close to us story and see how there's so many different ways you can succeed in what you are looking to do. So take a look and listen. All right, we have so many trainings and events coming up. Tomorrow we have the 75 Thrive series. I'm still doing the awkward, like, where are my glasses, where's the paper? It's fine. The 75 Thrive series, I've gotten such great feedback on it for everyone who's attending. So if you haven't gone yet, tomorrow's session is on luxury business. So probably everyone in this room would like to do more luxury business. So whereas some of them are a little more niche based, this one is for everyone. And Lisa Volkin was saying, Steve is one of her good friends. We all know Lisa does a lot of luxury business here. So 75 Thrive is tomorrow, 11 a.m. And endless referrals, what's that one mean?
Oh, that was next week.
Okay, and then the next one's coming up. Evie's gone ahead and shared the whole calendar. These run, just so you guys know, every Thursday till the end of March. We'll have one of these sessions running, and they are all recorded. So if you didn't go to one and you want to go back and see it, we do own them for you to go back and watch forever. They've been so good. The Lunch and Learn this week on Friday is with our Director of Tech for the region. Eason is coming here in person because it's a workshop, y'all. So there are all the new widgets on the internet pages that we have. Internet, what am I, my grandma? On your websites. There's the What's My Home Worth Value page. I'll go to www. So Eason's going to come teach us how to put them into motion now. So how to add that page to your website. What's my home worth? There was a couple. It's all the new updates to the websites. That's the only one that's most important in my brain today because that's what I always wanted my people to be able to look at. So that's a Lunch and Learn. You have to come. You have to register, right, Evie?
Yeah, just so I can make sure that you all have food.
Enough food. So click the link and register if you didn't. It's on the Facebook page. I saw an email about it this morning as well. RSVP, come get some food, learn how to run your website the right way, and bring your laptop to actually do the work in the room. Next up, we have Family Reunion in Las Vegas. Raise your hand if you're going. I can't even look at it like that. I'll see you there.
Amy's back. Amy's back on the list.
Amy's back on the list.
I didn't pick up on that one.
There's 36 of us registered. You guys, if you did not register yet, you can still, I think you can register through the regular site, but you can also try to get ticket deals. If you're going to try to get a ticket deal, please check with me that the person is actually a KW agent and is not a scam artist trying to steal your money. So Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Gary Keller, I don't know, 200 million, 1,000 different... Oh, what? You knew I lied. Broke it. That was a lot. 2 billion breakout sessions to choose from. There's so much going on that if you didn't register, you can. It's for agents of all experiences. Please, if you have questions or want to learn about it, reach out. We will answer them. Alicia, do you want to talk? Wait, where'd you go? Oh, do you want to talk about your exactly what to say role play?
We're getting it ready.
Come on. Coach Alicia. Are you gonna be on camera?
Can you hold this for me?
It's on.
Okay, so does anybody know who, that's way too close, who Phil Jones is?
Yes.
Okay, so he came out with a game, a role play game, that we got for everybody in the office. We're gonna do it every other Tuesday at noon. There are literally thousands of different things to say, so it's like, who are you talking to? What are you talking about? Where did you meet them? Is it going to be an assumption phrase? Is it other stuffs? Thousands of different things. I'm going to try to get sponsors for like snacks and stuff. Open to the entire office, not just the coaching program. So show up, have fun. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. It's not like we're starting our own. Yeah. Turns out that's exactly what to role play. Every other Tuesday starting next week.
You guys, this is awesome. This was just released. Phil Jones was at, what were we just at, Mega Camp? He was amazing. His book is so good. This will be fun, and you will learn how to sound smarter in front of clients, which is really a win-win.
And authentic.
Yeah, authentic. It's not, I don't want to do that because it's schmoozy and weird. It's not schmoozy and weird. It's how to teach you to stop saying dumb things and start saying the right things. Transparently. And then next Wednesday, awards.
No team meeting. It's going to be at the University of Tops. I don't even know how to say that.
University of Clabbertop, Seminary Towers.
Seminary Towers from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. So I've been blasting the RSVP link through Evite, and then we had the special invitation as well to everyone that is going to be receiving the award. So please, I need everyone's RSVP by tomorrow, 5 p.m. tomorrow, so I can make sure that we have the right amount of food on that event. So we hope to see as many of you all. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So much celebrating. Hi, how are you? All right, SMP Spotlight. I have Jeff from Invictus Advisors. Come on up, Jeff. Let's clap for Jeff, people. Oh, books. I love books.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jeff.
So I wanted to first tell you a little bit about our firm, and then I have some free gifts. Exciting, huh? So we're an accounting tax firm that we specialize in individuals that are looking to buy properties here in the U.S. that are looking to either put it in an LLC, but we also do domestic tax and accounting. So if like you don't have an LLC set up, or maybe your LLC has been a little compromised, like maybe you mixed personal funds and business funds, or there's a lot of different ways where you can compromise your LLC, like maybe not taking in payroll when you should be taking a payroll under an LLC. If any of those apply to you, you definitely want to reach out and talk to me. Some of the other things that we do is we do tax resolution. So, like for example, this is one of my gifts I'm going to be giving out. Help the IRS is after me. What do I do? This is one of our books. So, if you're getting phone calls from the IRS or you're getting notices from the IRS and you haven't filed taxes in a few years, you definitely want to talk to us. We can definitely help you out with that. And then also the other book that we've actually did is Help. I want to be a real estate investor. What do I do? So this talks about budgeting, it talks about how you can make margins, it talks about how you can make profit. So if you have investors that are looking to do real estate investing, this might be a good book for them because we can also help with budgeting and tax and help them get the right amount for their, that's your job, to get the right amount for their property, but to help them get the right margins that they need. So that's a little bit about us. Like I said, we're bicultural and we're bilingual. So we have there's 3 of us in our firm, and so 2 of us, not me, but the other 2 partners speak fluent Spanish. So we have Spanish clients. We can definitely help them out.
Awesome.
Sorry, I missed. You're a CPA?
Yeah. So we actually are principal partner. He is a CPA. So, but most of the times you don't necessarily need a CPA unless you're doing public financials. And so for most of you, you don't necessarily need it because it's that whole thing of there's some times where you need a CPA to sign off and there's some things you don't. So it just depends on your needs.
And you guys specialize in real estate? Is that...
Yeah, we do have a lot of real estate clients. So some of our clients, we've helped them get out of tax problems. So like for example, she was a real estate agent, the IRS was knocking at her door. And so we kind of, stopped them from doing anything else. So if you do have problems, you definitely want to or if you haven't filed tax returns in a few years. The other thing, my other recommendation is that if you, let's say you're just getting started, right? But if you have a home or have investments, and maybe yours made like $20,000 this year or so, you definitely want to contact us, because if you have all those things could be at risk, even if you have liability insurance for your business. So you definitely want to talk to me, and I'll give these to Evie so that she can hand them out as needed.
Yeah.
If you guys want to.
We'll do a record.
We'll keep it.
Yeah.
We won't look at you when you borrow the buck.
There you go.
Awesome
Thank you.
stuff. Thank you.
Sorry, one more thing, sorry.
Yeah.
If you guys want an electronic copy, I have electronic copies too, so you can just email Evie, and then she can actually forward it on to me, and I'll send you over an electronic copy.
Anonymous IRS email.
That's right.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And now Eddie from Movement Mortgage. I don't see Matt or Amanda, so I'm assuming.
It's just me. Sorry.
All right.
What's up, you guys? Yesterday was quite the day. It kind of caught a lot of people off guard in the economic news. Inflation had come in a little bit higher than was anticipated, and all of a sudden the markets freaked out, and rates spiked for the largest spike that they've seen this year. And today, one of the Fed chairmen came out and said, hey, don't worry about it. We're still on pace. We don't actually look at that CPI number. We look at a totally different number. And one of the parts of the PPE number that they look at is coming out tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have some good news, but we're still on track, as he said, to get down back to where we want to be, into the 2% range. For inflation, and they already have restrictive enough monetary policies right now, right, to get us there. So they're not looking at increasing rates, and they're still talking about decreasing rates. So hopefully that is on the back burner and will happen soon. Wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow we have a class for real estate agents on retirement mastery. So it's actually on how to use your reverse mortgage as part of your retirement plan. And it's a really interesting class. If you guys haven't, if you guys don't know about it, there's a silver tsunami coming, you guys. I hate to break it to you, but there's a lot of people that are going to be looking to downsize their homes, and you can use these reverse mortgages to purchase homes, y'all. Alicia?
For a reverse mortgage, does it have to be owner occupied?
Yes. It's an FHA loan. Yep. So please, like if you don't know about reverse mortgages and how you can have these intelligent conversations with your clients and help them not have payments and subsidize their retirement, tomorrow I will post it on our Facebook page so you guys have a link to it, but it's tomorrow at 10 a.m. No movement Mondays this week because we have a President's Day, right?
Correct.
And
we're close, by the way.
And we're closed, by the way. So you will. And oh, by the way, my neighbor is going to be listing their house, you guys. If you have any clients that are really cool people, because you got to live next door to me, and they got like family, and like they want to like they're nice people. please let me know. He's listing it for $2.2 million. It's a 6-bed. 5-bath, 4,400 square foot home. Alicia wants it.
Is it the one with the pool?
It is. I have the pool. He has the gazebo next door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It is a ridiculous 1,200 square foot gazebo in the backyard. That looks like.
Very big.
Yeah, it's huge. So it's a really nice place because our other neighbors sold their house for 1.5
Oh,
across the street.
that seems like a lot more.
That's the one that I was talking about.
Thank you, Eddie. Jacqueline, come give us our escrow partners update.
Okay, while Evie pulls up the slide, oh there, she already did it, she's so fast. Is Green here?
I didn't see her.
I don't see her. Well, she's probably busy because she just got her listing into escrow. Yay! So we were so
excited that Karina was able to open escrow with us this last week. I'm sure she's very busy working on that. So we wanted to spotlight her this week. If you guys don't already know, escrow partners right across the hall. If you have questions, ask me. I think a lot of people just weren't even sure like what was going on, why you might use escrow partners. So if you see me, ask me. I'm more than happy to share that information with you. And then I'm going to coordinate with Deb Brown. I'm going to be teaching a class. Hopefully Nicole will be able to pop in for that class as well. Just a really basic escrow 101. So if you need a refresher, if it's been a while, if you're new, whatever it is, we'll just be there to answer some basic escrow questions. Sometimes when you have that knowledge, you feel a little bit more confident going into that listing presentation. So yeah, that'll be coming up and you'll see it on the Facebook page or you can ask Deb Brown about that.
Awesome. Scan with your camera if you have questions. Never mind, it's gone.
Oh, good, I forgot I did that.
Oh, what?
The QR code? Oh.
There's a QR code. Take out your camera and scan it and ask the questions that you have while we get ready for Coach Alicia and the coaching spotlight.
When you scan it, there's a contact card. So scan that, there'll be a link tree, and if you click on contact card, there'll be a little button and you can save it in your phone. So if you don't have a question today, but in 2 days from now you have a question, you'll have access to us through that contact card.
Coaching shoutouts. You guys know these guys, right? Sam and Yanni, they're up here pretty much every week. They got another BRBC signed. That's, you don't know, that's the buyer's agreement. They're in growth with me. And,
Oops, sorry.
wow.
Very fast.
If you don't know this person, you're gonna see this name a lot because she is kicking it right now. Erica just opened escrow on her own listing. She's super quick escrow, is actually closing next week. It's her first one too. She's in launch with me. And then Kevin, who is in launch with Vinny, just listed his first listing.
Woo!
Excellent work. And Erica, who was the first slide, has been with us for about 6 weeks, I would say. Maybe 2 months. Steve, come on up and give us your property pitches. If anybody else has a listing to pitch when he's done, raise your hand.
Hi everybody, Steve Price. I have a few. Thank you. I have a few properties that I want to tell you guys about. I'll give you the lowdown if you have any clients that are interested, because I need them to go away and be sold. So first one in North Park, it's 1.375 million. It is a 2-bedroom, 3220 Bancroft. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and then there's a giant ADU possibility out back. So it's got its own alley access, and I won't give too many details about each one so I can move us along, but 3220 Bancroft, you can look it up. Reach out to me if you have any questions. The next one's in Point Loma, 364 San Elijo. I'm going to lower it when I get home. It's going to be 3.199 million.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, you have it first, you have a client, you can tell them you know the inside scoop. So 3.2 million, beautiful redone property right by Kellogg Beach if you know it. It's awesome. What's next? In PB, I have a really great parcel of land. It is, I don't know if you guys know about the $7 million listing that the Oppenheim Group had listed in PB, like right by Kate Sessions Park. Well, that just went into escrow. I have the last listing on the last vacant piece of land there. So it's called Gordon Circle, and there's about 10 or 12 brand new mansions that are built there, and it's really freaking awesome. So if you're ever in that area, please drive around Gordon Lane and just see these really cool homes. They're all different. My piece of land is ready to build. It comes with, the permits are officially expired, but it comes with architectural plans. It comes with everything you need to do for your build-it-yourself home. It's a modern farmhouse. Rough numbers on it. It's a $2.3 million piece of land, and it's absolutely fantastic. Like location, once you see it, you get it. It's been about $1.8 million to build. We've gotten 3 estimates, so we'll estimate high and assume you're all in at about $4.5 million. The ARV after resale value on that is upwards of $6.5 million. Okay.
How big is the lot?
There you go.
I'll look it up.
I don't know off the top of my head. It's a just over 5,000 square foot home that's to be built on it. And it comes with all the plans, the drawings, the renderings, all of it. So it's really cool. I actually wanted to do it myself. I'm just too busy right now, but if you have any investors those numbers totally make sense, Nikki, those numbers totally make sense for anybody that is into that kind of space. I have a listing in Rancho Bernardo that's a townhome. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, really, really cute, redone townhome. We're having it in escrow, didn't have it in escrow. It's about $900,000. It's listed at $910 right now. Probably can get it for around $900,000 is the right number. What else?
The lot's 10,000 square feet.
10,000 square, thank you, Milton. And then the last one is I have a listing in Mission Hills. It's got a lot of stairs and kind of a small backyard, but a really, really bitchin' house. And it's $2.489 million as well. Not as well, but it is. And it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. And it's really cool, but obviously not for older people because of all the stairs. And anybody that wants a big backyard, it doesn't work. But it's in a really great little cul-de-sac. It's in a good part of Mission Hills. And that address is 3130 Goldfinch. The address of the lot, if you are interested in looking it up, is 5150 Gordon Lane.
Is that on the market, Steve?
It is, yeah. Anybody wants any more information on any of these, please reach out to me. My phone number is 619-309-6308. Bring me a buyer. I always give the real scoop, and hopefully a win-win for everybody. Okay, good luck, guys.
Great work, friend. Great work. Anybody else? Property to pitch? Or I'll say, without further ado, let's bring up Ashley. And I don't know about anybody else. I always say I have the best idea in the shower. And the first sentence is about most people have their best ideas in the shower. So I'm not as weird as I thought I was in that category.
No, it was so fun. I was looking up holidays. I did not know this one existed. International Bath Day. And the reasoning behind it is because several very famous scientific discoveries have occurred after, usually, especially back in the 16th, 17th century, gentlemen were bathing and they would have their best thoughts. So they've put this data together because now there are studies that say a lot of your best thoughts come when you're showering or in the bathtub because you're relaxed. And relaxation leads to creativity. Some of us who haven't been relaxed in a while may have forgotten that. All right, so the reason for some of you who this might be your first time, the reason I put a holiday on there, it always marks 90 days from today. So 90 days from today is June 14th. Why do I do that?
Because what we do today shows up 90 days from now.
Yeah, we're in an industry, you're in a career that there's not instant gratification.
That's 4 months, isn't it?
From February, March, April, May.
It is?
No. I literally put Google, what is 90 days from today? So February to March, 30 days, March to April. Thank you, Judy.
I think that's the first time you messed up in like 7 years.
It's all good. I'll find another one and send it out. Maybe we're slowing down. Maybe it's a 120-day cycle.
No.
Actually, it's not. It was kind of fun to pull these because for the first time in a long time, we had numbers go up in a good way. So, this first set of numbers, I went back to 2017. I dropped off 2016, so I'm just giving you the 7-year run. We are up listings January this year versus January last year by 6.5%. It's not a huge up, but it's up versus, yes. If you've been coming for a while, the number of listings have been decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. This is the first positive in probably 14 months. Then the solds, same thing. They're up slightly also. All right, here's the hard numbers. I pulled this morning. It says 6:30, it was actually 5:30, but our active detached So active houses, under $1 million, we've got 455 available. Slightly less than we had similar time last month. But look at the next number compared to last month. That's another positive sign. So 677 in pending status versus 506. That means the next 30 days will be financially better for most of you. And then sold the last 30 days. And the over $1 million numbers. They're up substantially also, which is super cool. There's the condo numbers. The pendings follow the same thing. They're up. It means much of January and the first part of February has actually been fast-paced. Are you guys feeling that? We just had a mastermind earlier, and there's a lot of activity out there. There's a lot of people looking to buy houses. Yes? It's creating other issues, but at least the activity's there. And now with a few more listings, there's a little bit more choice. How are buyers reacting to that little bit more choice? Come on, if you were at the mastermind, we were talking about it. Are buyers a little more squirrely right now?
Yes.
A little more fickle, a little more buyer's remorse? What's interesting is when we start to get a little bit more inventory, people go crazy. They're not used to it. Now they have choices. I can put an offer in on 3 or 4 houses at the same time, which they shouldn't do. But they can't because there's 3 or 4 houses to offer on.
So there's slightly more than 2,000 for sale.
So, yeah, it's not huge. But the rate of coming to market is very high for a January. That's a good thing. And you'll see that in a few more slides. Listings taken in January, look where we're picking them up. The yellow bar is this year. There's a lot, $1 million to $2 million. And year over year, a lot more, over $2 million than there were last year. Where are we losing them? 73 properties in the entire MLS were listed under 400,000.
And those are new listings?
Those were new listings. It could be, it's all of San Diego County and pretty much all property types. So it's not a lot. Slim pickings under 400. There's the solds. Same thing, pretty darn active in that 1 to 2 million range, which is just shocking. That's our sweet spot of our entire market right now, $1 to $2 million. 176 more listings. Guess what? And the price points are high. What used to be considered high. Solds following the same thing. All right. Active houses by price points that are much more narrow. Under 200, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. This should show your buyers that it's still hyper competitive. And it should show your sellers there's not that much competition, even though we're going to talk about we are seeing more listings coming to market. We need to give them perspective. In all of San Diego County, as of today, there are 63 homes between 600,000 and 700,000. That's not a lot. Would you all agree? 3.3 million households, or 3.3 million people in San Diego County.
And there's almost the same under 600,000.
Yep. And those, if you went one by one through those they are houses because they were put in the MLS as houses. A lot of them are cabins on leased land or manufactured homes or mobile homes. It's really not till you get in the 6s that you have anything that's most of us would consider a house. It's crazy. This is so that was January. Gosh darn it, I added these. I did January and February for houses, and then February and January for condos. I wanted to show you the juxtaposition. So there's the numbers, 41 properties between 6 and 7. Last month, there were 63. So the available inventory is going up in price, and the anything that we would consider affordable, call it under 800,000, is going down in inventory. Why would that be? There's really two reasons. So more available inventory over 800 than we've seen, and less available inventory under 800 than we've seen. First factor is a lot of the things that, literally you'll see this in another slide, things that were 650 to 700 are now 8 and above, because there's been the most pressure on those prices to go up. And second, there's a lot of demand for whatever that stuff is under 8. So it's just flying off the market. We talked about that a little bit earlier too. There's some things that feel like they're getting stale, not if it's under 8. All right, so this is active condos February. I'm gonna go one more. Why is it skipping? So January, February. Look at 500 to 600,000. There were 103 available last month, 111 this month. Everything else has stayed pretty close. The sub $300,000 condo is going to be extinct by end of summer. We just won't even have condos under that. All right, absorption rates. This just is a snapshot in time for January. The yellow bar indicates how many closed escrow versus how many new product in that price point came to market. For January, these are really good absorption rates, but they're really far off everything we saw last year. But it's just a moment in time. It's a good January. I expect us to see in February and March these absorption rates back above 80%. Just was a kind of your, well, if it's sold in January, when did it go into escrow most likely?
December.
How active is our December market? You might be active because you're one of the rare agents working, but in general, December is not the best selling month. It's usually the lowest selling month, and that's what shows up in January. All right, new listings. Here's where the good news comes. It was so fun to see this. So January is marked every year back to 2014. So here's a 10-year run. And for the first year in years, this January did better than the previous January. And yes, you can clap for that. And the trajectory is pretty steep, meaning we really slowed down in December, and yet it bounded back. And I felt that. Did you all not feel that? Like the first week of January, it was busy. It's not usually the case. What that indicates to me, we had that little rate kind of pop down in December. The demand is there. There are people waiting on the sidelines, just waiting for that little nudge off the interest rate, and they came right to the market in January. Likely, this week and next week, you're going to be a little bit slower because the interest rates spiked back up. But if Ed's right and they come back down, you'll be busy again. So there's going to be a little bit of an energetic roller coaster. Your challenge is going to be to keep your activities consistent, even though we may have some weirdness. But both condos and houses are up in terms of number of listings, which is awesome. Pending listings, well, guess what? Doggone it, if we list it, it's going to go into escrow. So those numbers are up too. We should all look at the new listing number. That's kind of going to tell us how the market plays out for us on a macro scale. We get enough listings, we're going to do great. Solds are down because these are really comparing what was pending in December of last year to December of the previous year. So it's a big trailing indicator. The numbers for February are definitely going to show up way over last year for solds. Median sales price. I don't want to say much before you have a minute to digest that. Average is the next slide. It's going to look a lot similar. What do you take away from that slide? It's okay. Don't be shy.
If we work hard, we can make a lot of money.
If you own property, you can also make a lot of money.
We're back at where the was.
We are back at where the peak was. So for those people who were waiting for a blip, we literally can show them, there it was. On the blue line, which indicates houses, 849 was the median sales price last January. In 1 year, we gained 15% January over January. That's a lot. It likely will be more than 15% February over February. And it's just going to keep going up. So as Jacqueline said, that $1 million on the blue line indicates April of 2022. That was the absolute peak of the market ever in San Diego. And our median price for a house was $1 million, meaning half of the houses in the county sold over that and half sold under it. We will definitely blow past that this year. If you just look at trends, August, September, one of those 2 months will be our highest point of the year. We'll probably be at 1.1 to 1.15 for median price. Condos have followed the same trajectory, just appreciated a little bit faster because there's more demand for condos, which means the prices go up faster. But to gain that much, over 100% of value in 10 years, and honestly, so consistently. That's not a scary trend line except for when we had the 2020 and 2021 and 2022. That's when we really spiked. But we're back to where we should be from a San Diego trajectory standpoint. Average is almost the exact same. So for us to be at 1.3 million in January for the average sales price, when April of 2022 was the peak at 1.3, do you think we'll get past that 1.3 this April? I wouldn't be surprised if we did it in February. Yeah. It might be fun to start taking like a monthly little wager with you all. See if we can. Well, yeah. See if we can.
You might have to get a repair.
And just so you guys know, to put things into perspective, to get that $500,000 condo, you have to be making $10,000 a month and have no other debt as your income for a $500,000 condo. And what were you saying? How many $500,000 condos were there?
There's not that many.
There aren't that many because the average price is well over $700. Median price is over $600. You got to be making a healthy living. So if you have clients that are out there, and I want, and they're working like day-to-day jobs that aren't like, hey, $10,000 a month, it can't hurt to ask them what they're doing for a living because you don't want to be spending way too much time hunting for the non-existent unicorn, right? $10,000 is a lot of money to make. So hopefully they have somebody else to be buying these houses.
Did anybody see the? And I wish I was paying better attention. I just heard the number and I think I lost consciousness. There was a political debate yesterday for a California seat, and I think it's Shirley Weber is running again. Does this ring a bell to anybody? Huh? She's your neighbor?
Not the one that's selling the house, but yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it was like, what are you committing to do if you get this office? And there were 5, I do remember there were 5 candidates and everybody had something, homelessness, whatever. Hers was getting the state of California to recognize the living wage, not minimum, but living wage is $50 an hour.
Oh, that was Barbara Lee, she's right.
Barbara Lee, thank you. Did you see that?
I saw some.
It literally was out of the corner of my eye, and I heard her say $50 an hour and went, but her rationale was, that's what it actually costs. Like, you need to make that if you're going to live in California.
$100,000 a year.
And it's true. So anyway, a very interesting thing. And we're in this disparity, right? It's so much. All right, median active market time, 23 days for condos and 19 days for houses in the month of January. I put in last January because I know people started to get panicky when it was more market time. Well, it was way worse last January. And by the way, under 30 days is still really good, historically speaking. When Vinny got in the business, it was like 180 days. probably not that, but 120 was not unusual. 30 days is still very, very fast on and off market. What?
I don't know if you remember the little things that CAR and AR used to put off. I think it was CAR. They were like little shareables that you could do through social media. And I want to say maybe 8 or 10 years ago, the article was homes are flying off the market 90 days. That was flying off the market 10 years ago.
And we literally thought it was like, you could have never predicted that we would be going, oh my God, I've got 19 days on market. What am I going to do? And then the months of supply, I know it's a lot. These are a lot of bars in there, but I wanted, at least in this month, to give you the 10 years. I'll go back to the 5 years starting next month. But we're still historically low at 1.4 and 1.6 months of inventory. So essentially, really, really strong market. Average list price to sales price for both houses and condos was 98.4% in January. Very, very, very healthy. We'd like to see it stay there. List price per square foot. This kind of surprised me. Every once in a while, the numbers just match up. In January of 2014, houses and condos were both $309 a square foot. And then you see they kind of go crisscross. They're both now $635 a square foot. Just thought it was interesting. But how big is a square foot?
Depends on who you ask.
Will a woman please answer the question? $635. Make you uncomfortable, Greg? Okay, monthly indicators. These are the slides that SDAR provides us with. By the way, I don't think we've had well, we probably have had the meeting. I just didn't say anything about it. Who knows who Saul Klein is? Anybody heard that name? He's an old school dude who's been involved in San Diego real estate since the 70s, and he's actually one of the original creators of the MLS.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, and a super cool dude. He is now president again, after like 35 years, of SDMLS. There's a lot of not so great stuff happening throughout some of our associations, from national all the way down to local. There's a lot of house cleaning that should have been done that's getting done, and it's fantastic. And to have him come back in right now is awesome. Things that have moderately worked with the MLS, he's already on top of and fixing. And he's only been in the role for like 30 days. So anyway, if you see his name, follow him. If you see him around, follow him. Super good guy.
That's going to be awkward. Creepy.
You know you all do it. All right, so I actually sent him a message this morning and said, one of those things that probably isn't that important, but if you could actually make these valuable, that would be cool. And screenshotted it to him. The monthly indicators always starts with kind of a national look. So if you don't read any national real estate news, this is a good place to just kind of get a snapshot. Pending sales jumped 8.3% nationally. So what we're feeling, no different than the rest of the country's doing the same thing. And again, that usually indicates there's something national going on, the rates dropped, that would spur that much movement across. And an 8% uptick in January is really, really solid. And then I just wanted to highlight this last piece. The existing median home sales price across the country is $382,600. Who made this? Who said that? Is that you? Tell me more. Use more words.
More, I mean, that's not our rate.
Go buy somewhere else is what I heard.
Okay, that's a good takeaway. So go buy somewhere else, but also when things seem heavy, we did a whole lot of bitching upstairs at the mastermind. Because things,
Constructive.
it was bitching. And by the way, if you are having some frustration feelings, get it out. Like, it's okay. Be careful who you get it out with, but get it out of your body. It needs to come out. Go scream. On the bright side, our median sales price is 3 times what most people in the country get to make a living out of. That's a pretty big upside for us. Makes you lazy though too, but that's another story.
Yes.
Imagine, going back to Nikki's verbalization, imagine if you had that $384,000 price. Do you think you might show up and work real estate differently? Gosh! Maybe just choose.
Okay,
All right, hold on.
Ashley, he just said you need $10,000 in income to buy that $500,000 condo.
But that-
We're not buying $500,000 condos, we're buying $1 million plus properties. So that means we need to go out there and kick some ass and sell
Perfect.
10, 15, 20 houses.
I thought you were going somewhere else. Thank you.
No, I can't live in San Diego off of 3 sales.
Yeah.
I can't live here. I've got a family, I've got kids that just got out of college that I'm still paying for. Like, who can live off of $30,000 in San Diego?
Well, and the cool thing is we don't have to.
Exactly.
If our average commission is $25,000,
Go sell 10 houses.
and we know, for,
10
especially, actually I was going to say especially for new agents, don't even worry. How about for the agents in the business 5 to 10 years who haven't hit 25 units a year? You can hit 25 units a year. We still have enough closing. It just has to change here first, and then in your activities. What's 25 times 25? $500,000. You close 25 houses, you're going to make $500,000. Everybody sitting in this room can do that.
That's 2 a month.
I bet you if I said, I will personally pay you $200,000 this year, all you have to do is sell 2 houses a month. I bet there's people in this room that would take me up on it.
Just
And you
this
can get
conversation.
What? If you were on a salary, the reality is you'd have to do the same amount of work and you can make twice as much. That's why I start with the 90-day, or when I screw up, the 120-day real estate cycle. Because that's what I think sometimes gets in the way, is you're working and you're going, I'm not getting a paycheck. You won't. Make peace with it. You do the work today, you will get the money in 90 days. And it's a lot of money. All right, and then the market inventory levels were down 10.6%. And that, again, national numbers. The property type with the largest gain was condos and townhomes. One of the things that we are seeing locally, if you drive through North Park and parts of Normal Heights, you see it. How many towers are going up? It's an amazing amount of units going up. Most of them are rentals, but the number of condos is why you're seeing nationally. You're seeing more infill projects happening because that's what you can entitle. All right, questions? Comments?
What
Yes.
would be your response to many buyers thinking that these types of increases aren't sustainable based on the incomes here? I understand, but if I don't have a slide in front of me, like what
Didn't
would
have the slide in front of you. Do you want to answer it or you want me to answer it?
you answer it?
Emily, can you repeat the question?
I'll repeat it because I have the microphone. What would my response be to a buyer who says our price gains aren't sustainable because incomes aren't going up enough?
Somebody's income is.
Somebody's income is.
That's what I want to
Where's
say.
my average price? First, I mean, you guys can script better than I can, for sure. I would use these two, and you could actually take a picture with your phone, I think, and then it's on your phone.
Oh, is that how it works?
I
Okay,
think it can happen.
got it.
I'm being somewhat snippet because we are having to educate people who literally have a logical thought. I have been in the real estate space for many, many, many years. For probably the last 15, I've said in my own head, this isn't sustainable. It doesn't logically make sense. But data doesn't lie. And so the other part of this is, that's why I put the supply and demand at the end. In order for our prices not to go up, we would have to see demand go way down. Mr. Buyer, do you think that's going to happen?
Okay.
guess this is for Ed, I mean, have you seen more 40-year mortgages or 50-year mortgages, or the ratios going from 42 to 44, something like that across the board, or anything like that?
It's actually going the opposite direction. So we do have 40-year mortgages. They are back. I try not to use them ever. Nobody's ever going to own a home if you do that. But it is a way to get in the door. However, we're seeing the tightening of the monetary supply. Banks are making it harder to get the money, not easier, right? So the people that were getting an approval at 50% debt to income ratios, I was like, I can't believe this guy's getting approved. Now, like, we had to drop someone down to 39% to get them approved, even though they had halfway decent credit, they had a decent income. We're sitting there constantly tinkering with these to figure out where do they get approved at what level. So those levels have really substantially changed, and especially depending on their credit. Below 700, those screws are getting tight, significant.
So here's another aspect of the sustainability question. What's our active inventory right now? 2,200 roughly total.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Open question. Probably more of our seasoned agents would have better answers for this, and there's no right or wrong answer. But where do you think we would meet our demand? How many listings would we need to have to meet the current demand so prices didn't go up?
6, 4 to at least 6.
Amy says at least 6.
That's a 10. That's a 10.
Okay, wow. I would say let's stay with 6. Certainly, when you go back and you look prior to 2010, we never had less than 15,000 listings at any time. And our prices were still going up then.
There were less people.
And there were less people. So let's say it is triple the number we have now. We need it's not, by the way, that's being very conservative, but let's say 6,000 would meet our demand and our prices would plateau. How are we going to get to 6,000 listings?
But isn't that all relative? I mean, it becomes the perpetuating mindset. I lost out on this property. I need to put more, get higher for the next property, right? So when we had those 7,000, 8,000 right there, rates were lower, so it made it more affordable to purchase that time. Now it's less affordable to purchase right now, but we have that mindset that I just lost out on this property. I have to pay for the next one. So even if we did get to that 6, I know what you're going to say how to get that one. But if we get to that 6, it would loosen that up. You'd have less people in that mindset of I have to pay more to get there.
Yeah, absolutely would, which would add into that plateau. But we don't have 3 times the inventory just coming to us. It's not going to happen anytime soon. And even if we did, we would just plateau. So the next question is, what's the number of listings we would need to see come to market in order to make our prices go down because there were fewer listings than less demand for the listings?
Without a black swan event, I don't think that's going to
It's never going to happen.
Not in San Diego, at least, because it's such a unique niche.
And this is all answering.
Huh?
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily that much, because you have a lot, like you said, people freaked out about days on market going to 30 days, right? When we were in, not last holidays, I think it was not this one, the last one, people were freaking out because days on market was at 32, right? So you were able to get 10%, 15% under list on some of these properties because the agents didn't know how to adapt to it. So we could see basically a similar effect, even if we got to 7,000.
In a moment of time, absolutely. In a moment of time, you're going to see, but even over a 12-month period, in the slowest months of the year, January, we're up as much as we're up. The only thing that's driving that is demand is so much greater than our supply. So either we have to fix our supply problem, not happening, or wait for a black swan event to decrease demand. And by the way, if that happens, this is our last concern. Like, we won't care.
Can we circle back to Emily's question for a second? Like,
This is all answering the question.
I honestly, I think that you got to be real with people and just say that this is not sustainable. Because it's not. There's no way that properties can continue to grow at 10, 15, 20% over extended periods of time. Because if you look at it, right, on average, you know the rule of 72? Have you ever heard of that? So property, so any kind of investment, right? You can figure out what the percentage return is, looking back and seeing when it doubled, right?
Okay.
So if you're looking at this 475 to say 975, that's roughly doubled, right? And it took 10 years. You take 72 divided by 10, and you get the average
7.2.
7.2, right, a year. That's fine. That's average, right? So can we, historically speaking, 65 years, you're at 5.2 in San Diego County. 65 years. So use that as your number. That's what we've been historically speaking. Great, over the past decade, we've been higher than that. But yeah, you're right. Like, we can't keep it up. But at the same token, what's going to bring it down? Right? You flip that around, and you start talking about generational gaps and how much the builders screwed up from 2010 to now, trying to catch up, and they stopped building, right? And now they're 4 or 5 million units nationwide behind. Like, how in the world are they going to catch up? Not in our lifetimes.
Not in our lifetimes, and you've got the one more overlay for San Diego, which is we're almost built
Almost what?
built out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you see these infill projects going on. I was talking to a coaching client of mine who's in Milwaukee. She just bought a small commercial property, and I asked if she had what the parking was, just because, obviously, anybody notice a parking issue here? Her total building is 3,500 square feet, and there's 3 parking spots. The rest is street parking. And of course, that's horrible. And I said, well, it's interesting. They just changed all of our zoning, and any livable units, like you're going to rent, don't require parking. There are thousands of units in North Park and Normal Heights providing 0 parking.
They just put up
It's nuts! They just
put up 4 plus units, 48 units in our neighborhood, in a residential street, and no parking. Then the neighbors are nuts. So they told us they were going to 16, they went up 48, and there's no parking. So we're like, we're going to all these folks across the street, see if we want to sell.
yes, ma'am.
The other thing I would add to the sustainability question is it's not sustainable for a certain population. So I agree, right? Like at $10,000 a month, there is a certain population that it's not going to be sustainable, and they're not going to get in the market, and they've missed the moment, and it's not coming back. And if your job situation doesn't change, and your income doesn't change, and you don't bring in another buyer with you, it's not sustainable for that group.
And that's honestly tragic for that. I mean,
and it sucks that those people will now probably forever, unless they change one of those major things, be out of that buying pool. But the problem is people above that sustainability level, there's more of them than there are listings. So even though, yes, it's not sustainable for a huge portion of the population, there's enough that were in the market that just made all this equity or have jobs with wages that have kept up, that's still more people than homes available.
this speaks very loudly. 3.3 million people live in San Diego. Those are the available houses today.
Oh, no, it's not a question. What's the stat on, and I know it's probably been different with interest rates lately, 3.3 million and it's 10% transact a year?
Oh, no, it hasn't been that high. In the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, all the business planning we've ever taught has said 6% of people buy or sell every year. That's been the static number historically. It is now about 1%. Part of that is interest rates, just where we were at waiting for the interest rates. Part of it is people have tended to stay in their homes longer across the country and be less transient for about the last 10 years. So you add those two things together, and people, I just read somebody on Facebook, they posted a blog post and they said people move every 7 years. No, they don't. Nope, 10 to 14. No.
Actually, can you go back to the average price paid?
And don't forget that, like, even if you have a buyer that's stuck on the sidelines and they're looking at whatever, $800,000 home, and we're talking like in a very conservative manner, 5% depreciation, you're talking about a $40,000 side job that you don't need to even do to make 40 grand a year, not to mention what you pay down on that home every year, right? So you're literally, your house is paying you to live there.
Actually, is the 10 to 14, is that nationwide? Or is that San Diego?
Oh, no, that's a nationwide number. 10 to 14 years moving. Yeah. Yeah. What did you want to see here, Amy?
I just was looking at the numbers again, just to see the difference in the last year.
I didn't anticipate that, by the way. That even though I look at these numbers deeply every month, for some reason I was like, we regained all that value we lost in the blip.
Awesome.
It's awesome and tragic.
But, I mean, we're lucky, like I was having this conversation last night, we're lucky to be having in the real estate industry here in San Diego, like.
But to Amy's point, I'm sorry, Emily, when we own property, it's a great thing. If you don't yet own, it's really okay to not buy here as your first. Get in somewhere. I coach people in 6 different states, and everybody's seeing great appreciation. Not this great, but much better than they've ever seen. Usually you buy in the Midwest or some places in the Northeast, and you're buying for cash flow. You're not buying for appreciation. San Diego, you buy for appreciation if you can. Now, those markets are seeing both cash flow and appreciation because there's demand everywhere. Because the builders nationwide went to sleep for the last 10 years. All right, 1 minute left. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.